So the past couple of weeks, I have been pretty harsh on Aharen-san, and a lot of that comes because of just wasted potential for this specific anime. And if you guys have been around the channel, you know that like one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to anime is just simply having a lot of potential or having a potentially special anime that has something and it just wastes it. And specifically in Aharen-san, there is something special, and that is the relationship between Aharen and between Raito, and the weird magnetism that they kind of have to where like they're able to come and gravitate towards each other. Like what they have is actually truly special, and I just really think that it's kind of wasted when we kind of keep getting the same schemes and same storytelling, just insert it in different things. And there was a lot of good of this episode 100%. I'm going to get there. There's like, I mean, there's a ton good. But the thing like that I mean is like in this specific episode, right? Like Aharan's about to go and do the goldfish, right? Do the goldfish scooping for Raito, and immediately, as always, Raito begins. His mind goes everywhere, and he's like, "Oh, she's a professional goldfish scooper. She has these mad skills. She has X, Y, or Z," and none of that ends up coming to fruition. She actually sucks at goldfish, scooping, and she went in completely wrong. She broke her scooper almost instantaneously, and Raito was let down by the fact that he built himself up by thinking that she's this, but really she was that. You know what I mean? And that is the same reoccurring thing that continually happens over and over. Now, wait, do I hate it? No. I just think that it's wasted potential for it just to keep having the same comical things occur over and over. And when they're not funny, it becomes even harder, right? Now, what I think this episode specifically, what I think this episode absolutely crushed it and excelled at was the introduction, or the continuation, I should say, of Momo, which is the teacher, right? And the teacher is absolutely hilarious. And I love the fact that she has this esteem meter, which is basically just her excitement level, her precarious excitement level that she has when she's watching certain actions. And in this case, certain students kind of intermingle and build and have relationships and stuff. And she's totally way too into it, even. And she constantly is getting herself overly excited. Well, in this specific episode, you know, she saw Aharen and Raito and them during lunch, and their esteem level was through the roof. So she got overly excited. Then she had to think about, you know, cooling herself down. So she's like, well, if I just think about them in certain situations, then when I see them, I won't actually react. So she sees them, she thinks about them, you know, Raito being a delinquent and Aharen trying to correct him, and that ends up getting her too excited. Then she thinks about Raito being like this model type dude, and Aharen being poor and lowly, and them getting stuck together, and Raito's in a bath. Boom. Throws her over the level so much so she's gushing, and she's laying there in a pool of her own blood and just like dying. But thankfully she has her coworker, her other friend, the other teacher there, who comes to save her. And I think that she not only I love her as a character, and I think that she saved this episode. And if the anime can continue to introduce new characters to us, if it can continue to build a cast of supporting characters that do the same thing that Momo does, then I think in the last few episodes that we're going to have something pretty special here with Aharen. Even if the middle episodes are kind of crappy, the first like 3 episodes were really solid. And if the last 3 or 4 episodes can also be really solid, then the middle chunk won't matter so much, as most people aren't watching weekly. They'll watch kind of when everything's done. And if somebody watches it in a binge type fashion, I think that this will definitely be something that will appeal. Now, if they drop the ball and there's no supporting characters and it just continues to be the same thing, well, the other thing that can save the anime is what happened at the end. They finally held hands. They finally got to that moment. And we've been building up towards certain moments, hold hands, genuinely hold hands, not like, hold hands like a little sister, like hold hands like, I want to hold your hand, let's be together. Aharen felt a little embarrassed about that. Raito's a little more forthcoming, but he's slow. So I mean, if they can build their relationship up a little bit, and maybe they get to a first, maybe they go hold hands, true hug, and then maybe we get a kiss at the end. If that happens, then that's also a saving grace for the anime. But I really think the supporting characters and those things are more important still. Because I think that there will be they have a natural magnetism, like I said. So I think that natural magnetism will still kind of lean itself to kind of push them together. Lots of potential with Aharen. Really good job at building up supporting cast. If they can continue to do that, it'll be solid. And if they can continue to push forward the relationship for Aharen and Raito, that'll be solid as well. Remains to be seen, but I'm gonna remain hopeful that we get more of Momo and characters like her, and I'm gonna remain hopeful that we get more of the relationship progressing. I'm going to cross fingers. Let me know what you guys thought about this week's episode down in the comments below. As always, I appreciate you guys being here for another week. Give it a big old like before you guys dip out. And let me know your true thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.